Welcome back to Apex Academy, your ultimate home for all your crypto education. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, one new stream every day, 8 p.m. East African time. So make sure you get tuned in not to miss an update. I might be late sometimes, like today. That is why it's important to turn on the notification so that you get notified when we go live. So, quick update, if you check the market today, things are not looking that bad. Bitcoin is above $20,000, which is a good sign, of things good to come. Ethereum 1300, BNB 293, yet to hit the $300 mark, but we're gonna get here soon. That is what I believe, because BNB is still a sleeping giant with a max supply of 200 million. Most likely, we're gonna surpass the 300 and even form a new all-time high in the days and the months to come. So entire market cap down by not down but rather up by 0.57%. Current market cap 964 billion, which is an increase from where we were last night. So things are looking amazing. Cryptos, we are now at 21,206, 5 to 7 exchanges, and that shows you that things are looking amazing as we are seeing them. So if you can just check status of the Bitcoin, right now you can see 2202 and counting. In the last 30 or so minutes, we've recorded a kind of bearish candle. You can see we have a long shadow, meaning that the sellers are trying to overpower the buyers. So let's just wait and see where that would close. I really hope that we don't go below the the $20,000 mark, which I don't think we will cross there today, because you can see we actually surpassed that mark 6th of October. That is today at around midnight. That is when we surpassed this particular mark. So as things stand, we are not doing that bad, even though we have this liquidity point down here. So most likely we may not go below this liquidity point. So these are just these retail in the whales trying to play with the retail investors so that they can try push back the market down, then buy in lump sum. So most likely once we hit this level, we're gonna see a reversal that will try and push the market back up. So that aside, you can see what Elon is trying to do. So we had Twitter stocks that significantly by 22% after Elon Musk revived the deal to buy Twitter at the original price. So this one, of course, I'm sure the Dogecoin holders, they anticipated to see a massive bull run or some kind of a bull in Elon's favorite coin, Elon's favorite meme coin rather, and that is the Dogecoin. But as things stand, we have not had so much movement, specifically on Dogecoin, and you can see it's just 0.75% up. So let's wait and see how this is gonna drive. I'm sure when the deal is finally approved and paperwork done, we are gonna see a spike on Dogecoin. Remember, Dogecoin is Elon's favorite meme coin. He doesn't own the project, but rather is just a strong believer of the meme coin. He propelled it actually to its all-time high, and I believe that if he's gonna complete that deal, then you're gonna see some significant movement on the Doge. If you can just check the all-time high for Doge, this is now at 0.06. Let's just check the all-time high. If you check the all-time high for Doge, you can see it is at 0.7. So we are slightly 91% down. So if Doge goes back to the pre-time high, then most likely you'll have made 91% gains in that period of time. So watch Doge, ensure that you keep your eyes on it so that once that mega announcement is made, then you're gonna be one of those beneficiaries. That aside, we've had Russia that has allowed international trade in Bitcoin, crypto for any particular industry. This is a big news and a big motivation, because such news are what propel the industry to move forward. But even if Russia are approving this mechanism, we don't expect this news to be received with a lot of positivity from across the entire globe. And one of these countries that most likely is gonna received this news with negative is the US. As you know, the US controls the economy because the dollar is the one that controls the economy at the moment. So when Russia tries and bring this kind of projects for receiving crypto as a payment method, that means it's like they are fighting the US government. And actually, I received an article from one of my students in the academy, and they're saying if Russia opens the door to acceptance of crypto for international trade, this will result in more regulatory scrutiny of the DeFi and increased sanctions enforcement against DeFi products. So sanctions against Tornado Cash smart contract will just be a tip of the iceberg. So this has to be understood by the crypto community. So as you know, Russia is a powerhouse. So by them accepting trades to be conducted on crypto, then most likely we are gonna have so much scrutiny of this industry. We expect regulations to kick in. And on the other hand, remember on our last stream where we said if crypto can be regulated actually, then it's gonna have a very positive impact in the market. So I think this can be a blessing in disguise. If regulations kick in, then you're gonna see a very good rally in this particular industry. So apart from Russia, we've had McDonald's. McDonald's have decided to accept Bitcoin as payment method in Lugano, that is in Switzerland, and this is one of those countries that has rapidly promoted the adoption of cryptocurrency. So with this issue of accepting Bitcoin as a payment method in McDonald's, which is one of the biggest restaurants in the world, then this is gonna push the industry. So if you combine McDonald's, Russia, regulations coming in, then most likely we are gonna be in for a good run in the next couple of months. So it's about time that you load your bags because we might be in for a good run, as I just mentioned. On the other side, we've had Dokwon. For those of you who don't know Dokwon, this is the guy behind the infamous Luna project, which crashed, and so many investors lost money. Actually, Luna crashed overnight and it went down to almost zero from an all-time high of about $96 thereafter. You can imagine such kind of crash. So there have been reports that are suggesting that Do Kwon's assets have been frozen due to his case that he's currently facing. He's currently not yet prosecuted because apparently he has been missing in action. But Do Kwon has come out through his social media account, deny the allegations that the prosecutors have frozen $39.6 million worth of his crypto. So he says he doesn't know whose funds they are frozen, but good for hope, but good for them, hoping that they use the funds for the being of themselves. So that $9.6 million is quite a significant amount. So if you imagine if these assets are in crypto and then the market just does a 10%, you can imagine the amount of money that you're pocketing from this particular portfolio. And that is why it's always important that you keep your assets off exchanges, keep your assets in wallets. More so, I prefer you keep them in cold wallets. We've had some policies coming from the EU where they intend users to do KYC on wallets, but I don't think that's going to be implemented unless they make the measures very, very strict. So at the moment, I just recommend go for non-custodial wallets because you have the private keys and no one can be able to access your wallet. Speaking of a good run and a good run in the coming several months, this is the price of Bitcoin exactly 13 years ago. So at 13 years ago, with $1, you could actually buy 1,300 Bitcoins. Let's just check how much that would be worth today if you had taken up that particular opportunity and bought those assets. So that is about BSC to USD, and you had bought 1,300 Bitcoins. So today, your $1 basically will have turned out to be $26 million. So if you convert this to Kenya shillings, you will even go more crazy because the figures are some very huge amounts. I think this is 31 trillion 783 million, no, 3 trillion 178 billion 383 million 524,000. I've even lost track of the figures. So you can't tell me that in the next 10 years the price of Bitcoin is going to be at 2156. You see what I just told you? These are the whales. They're trying to play with our minds. they are now causing what you call uh, a sell panic so that guys can sell. Then once the market gets this liquidation point, they now come in, they buy up, then we go and continue forming those patterns, because what you're seeing here are basically higher highs and higher lows. So I'll keep monitoring this chart and see where it will end up to be. So back to what I was saying, this is a very good amount of money. And right now, if you can buy some assets actually like Polkadot, assets like Doge, which are still trading at uh, if you can just check Polkadot, Polkadot is still trading at $6. So if you can just grab some Polkadot right now and hold the asset for a solid 10 years, I believe by then you will be speaking another story, because the all-time high for Polkadot is around $55. So in 10 years time, most likely you will have surpassed that all-time high and form a new all-time high. So it's high time that if you don't have these assets, ensure you do hold them. That is why you have what you call DCA Saturdays, so that you can have as many assets as possible, so that when those years come, we'll be able to be grateful for the efforts that we put in our early childhood or youthful life. So, good news to the US citizen. Binance US is gonna list Sandbox for trading. That should be done, I think, on 6th of October, which is today. So, you don't know what happens when a coin is being listed. It's gonna go parabolic. So, ensure that actually it was the 5th of October. Ensure that once this listing is done, then you're gonna be in, and things are supposed to work out the way they're supposed to work. If I can just show an example of a coin that was listed today on Binance, I think the coin was is it GMT? Let me trend GMT, and let me just try and get that coin which was listed today on Binance, and it actually made some very good gains. I think the name of the coin of the project is GMX. Yeah, it should be GMX, not GMT, but yeah, GMX. So GMX was listed on Binance today, and it actually shot from $40 all the way up to 62, just by the virtue of being listed. So Binance.us is going to list Sandbox. So I'm sure we are going to see a very good run in Sandbox between today and tomorrow as a result of that particular listing. So take advantage, go buy some Sandbox, so that once this listing is done, then you are going to be one of those beneficiaries who will benefit from that particular listing. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms at Apex Crypto Academy on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So, good luck, good night, good luck. God bless you, and see you tomorrow for yet another video. Good night, everyone.